Hey, what's going on, good people? It's your boy Tez coming back at you with another EdensZero chapter discussion review, breakdown, whatever you like to call this, for EdensZero chapter 148, Eye of the Hour. Now, where we last left off, we do know that Shiki was making his way over to the underground passages where Wise, Pino, Happy, and everyone else are, and as we currently see him in the opening panels there rushing over, he was like, so this will take me to the underground. Hang in there, Witch. You know, he's coming. He's still on a mission to rescue Witch from Shura. Now, back in Nero 66 space, however, we do still see the Resistance still battling with Shura's army out in space. Our boy Ibaraki, you know, they're still getting what seems like the brunt of everything thrown at them. Like, it doesn't seem as though any side is truly winning, but Ibaraki's like, there's a whole heckin' lot of them. They're swarming around. The little bunny guys like, I'm out of ammo, we gotta head back. And then our couple there's like the enemy reinforcements are, and then out of nowhere, Good was like, yo, you gotta be kidding me, you were still hiding all that firepower up your sleeves? He's like, there's tens of thousands of them. And then you just see this thing, this glint in the background, like just zooming through. Like, this next ship just comes by and they're like, yo, it's an unidentified approaching, you know, craft at 6 o'clock. And he's like, you know, what is this? And they're like, yo, it's zooming at speeds that are off the charts. Like, I've never seen anything this fast. They were like, is that a new enemy model? And then Eraser lets Goodwin know. He's like, no, that is an ally. He's like, do me a favor and don't shoot him. And as we see this new unidentified ally zooming through all the ships, you just see debris, explosions. I mean, it's amazing. And Etherlink connects to the actual ship, and then like, hold up, what? There's lights surrounding the ship, and then you hear, or read more rather, 7-star pass your judgment. So it is our boy, you know who this is, with the Grand Chariot, which is kind of dope. Mind you, I'm gonna hint on that. And everyone else is like, yo, what kind of attack was that? Like, multi-omnidirectional lasers, and every one of those beams has, you know, incredible penetrating power. And Eraser's like, yo, you're late to the party, my friend, and our boy Justice is reporting for duty. Ether activated and linked to his ship. I've officially I kind of had a little gasm there, because I didn't think you could actually link your ether to other types of devices. Man, there's so many different things that they can do with ether, and I'm loving, just as each chapter comes out, we get to see more and more what ether can do. I always just assumed in my head it's just, oh, this is what I have, this is how I use it, the abilities in which I can manipulate it can only go as far, but we don't know what kind of technology that the army that Justice, the Intergalactic Justice Space, or Justice Force, sorry for the tongue twister, belong to, that Eraser and Justice belong to, have at their disposal. Now they're like, look at all those battleships, government reinforcements, and he's like, then we're still in this. Goodwin's just smiling. Yo, Goodwin wants the smoke, people. Like, you're not gonna do anything but get the smoke from my man. Now back underground into the tunnels, Wise is still panicking and cowering away in the corner. We see Rebecca still crying, and it's kind of up to our bots here now. Like, so it's up to Moscow, Pino, and it's up to Happy. Happy's like, yo, y'all gotta pull it together, Wise and Rebecca. Like, you know, get yourselves together. He's like, they're suffering from total loss of self, says Pino. Now, we do still see the gentleman whom we got introduced last time, who's also a part of the Oceans. He's the creepy one with the hypnotic ether, and it's just complete and utter butt. So now they were like, it's his ether gear that they deduced. It's his ether that's causing them to be all hysterical and crying and babbling, and yo, they're ready to square up and throw hands. Now, it is the cutest thing to see Happy and Pino both like in a fighting stance, like, you know, the ready to just go to town. And then like Moscow is like, you know, don't worry, I found his weakness. And yo, he's like, interesting. She's like, really? Have you, Moscow? I'm like, Pino, don't fall for Moscow's words. Don't. He's like, he said his hypnosis has no weight on androids. And to a degree, it does seem like he could be right. And he was like, yo, you're right. None of us have been affected. If his hypnosis can't get through us, then there's nothing for us to fear. And then Moscow strips down, or rather dress changes, into his bear skin, which is him in his sumo outfit, which is Not to say I'm mad at it, but I was like, I didn't expect to see Sumo Moscow anytime soon. I just was not expecting this. And he gets down in the stands, my boy. You know, the Mos Thwomp as the sound effect, you're gonna hear it, or you won't. I just made the Mos Thwomp. But still, he's like, I will hit you with the full force of a galactic Yokozuna. And I'm like, yo, they got those in Edens? Y'all got Yokozunas in space? Y'all got space, you know, sumo? I got no questions, but I got questions. So he was like, oh, so what you talking about sumo ranks? Yokozuna, good. He's like the highest rank there is. I don't know why I assumed his voice sounds like this, but we're gonna keep going with it. And Moscow charges in with the galactic Yokozuna style meteor face slap shower. Now this does look dope if this actually lands, and it doesn't, because you know Moscow is the butt of jokes, but I don't take my man as a joke because I know there's gonna come a day when Moscow delivers, and it'll be a day that we all sit and be like, wow, that man actually did that. Moss. And everyone's surprised. They're like, yo, Moscow? He's like, Kick is breaking the rules. Yo, he just basically went down like, yo, you can't kick. This is sumo. You gotta use your hands, big dog. He's like, nope, that is not me. He said, he said, my hypnosis doesn't work on droids, although it takes a little more time to kick in. He's like, I know you will make it. He's like, I'll make you to a fine young lady. And Moscow instantly transforms, or more or less his personality shifts into a shocking surprise to Pino and Happy and myself as well when I read this, into a young schoolgirl. Now everybody is in this weird state of disarray, and it is not nice. And Pino's like, I believe we may be at a crisis, and this is the greatest chaos that they've even faced. Like, for either to affect robots in this type of way, to, you know, rewire their circuitry or programming. And I'm pretty sure that's maybe how Shura got that one bot to actually self-detonate that didn't want to. He had him tell him to go blow himself up, or listen to Shura's words and self-detonate upon X, Y, and Z. Who knows how that goes? And he's looking at them both like, oh, you're adorable little bots. I'm glad I saved you for last, but what should I do with you? And now they're both thinking to themselves like, data link, they're data links, so they can share thoughts. And they're kind of like, let's let his guard down considerably, and then, you know, we'll see what we can do from there, see what it looks like once they formulated a plan. But with his lower defenses, they kind of have a chance to do something. So Happy transforms to the Happy Blaster and adjusts and shoots, makes him dodge to the left, and then at that moment Pino activates her EMP, which shuts down his powers and brings everyone back to themselves. And I was like, is Pino's EMP the ultimate deactivant or neutralizer to everybody's powers? I believe it'd be similar to Mute from the X-Men. If you know anything of the X-Men, there is one particular mutant who has the ability to shut down all mutant powers, similar to an EMP, but more or less in a general vicinity. So like with Pino, she has to activate it. I believe with Mute, as he developed, the range in which he could shut people's powers down expanded. So in the same sense, but that's kind of cool. So but with everyone getting back to themselves and still, you know, trying to adjust themselves from the shaking, the crying, and everything else, and they're like, oh yeah, we did it, like they're back. He's like, the miniature bot was the biggest threat of all. Now they were like, his hypnosis, his ether gear is the hypnosis. They were like, that's what's causing this. And he's like, they don't know how he does it, but you got to be careful. And they're like, hypnosis, but be careful, but how? That is also the craziest part. Like, I thought it was just like hypnotic suggestion, but it's kind of like he's almost speaking. Like, he speaks at you and then boom, you fall under his trap. So it kind of didn't work. And he started with Pino, actually. He's like, hypno connect, or apparently he can just connect to your mind or your circuitry or anything similar to, actually it could be, I could be spitballing, we may not find this out, or it may not be true. It could just be that he's neural linking with anything that has certain electronic or electric waves. That might be how his hypnosis works. Like, it keys in on a certain frequency, and that's how he can, you know, give suggestion through his power. So who knows? I could be right. Hey, if anybody makes it this far, keep a reminder of this. We'll see, because I know they're gonna expose how this actually works. So let's, you know, I'm putting it down now. Let's see if that is how he would do that. That's the only thing I can think of that would allow him to control machines. You know, the same way that our brains have electronic waves, or electric waves. There may be the same thing that allows him to do this to Pino, Moscow, and Happy. Now he turned Pinot into a mole, which it was super cute. I wasn't even mad at him, like, she's a mole, but then she's like, mole, like, I can't dig through this, it's too hard. And he just like, Moscow is like, yo, the same thing happened to y'all too. Like, it's like, what? He turned Happy into a pigeon, and that was just messed up. You turn a cat into a bird, like, all right, bro, you trifling. And then he turned Moscow back into a pretty girl, and Moscow is like, OMG, Moslow, let's party. He turned into a party girl, and he was like, yo, this is hilarious. You see this, everyone still reacting and wise, and Rebecca kind of like, yo, how in blazes do we stop this? This is definitely not good. And he was like, the moment you've all been waiting for, time for final or fatal hypnosis. Fatal hypnosis. If anything, I could think of that being suggestions sort of like shut your brain down, or your body's gone into stasis, or anything like that. But that's what we end off on chapter 148, people. Again, roughly at the 8-minute or so mark, I believe I said, yo, just we're gonna find out how his ether suggestion hypnosis stuff works. If you've made it this far, thank you again. As always, like the video, comment, gravity punch the subscribe button, make sure you got the bell notification turned on for any and all ether content related on this page, and anything else that you may find, like I said, coming soon. And as always, be good, be blessed. Oh, and before I also forget, if you are a father, and because Father's Day, like myself, was just this past weekend, happy belated Father's Day. I hope you are great. Hope you and your loved ones are great. Y'all be blessed. Peace.